have not taken my Christmas decorations down yet. I can't commit to it. I love the Christmas lights in the tree. Also, I apologize that this video is kind of like impromptu and very informal. As you can tell, I'm sitting at my desk, but this topic just like came to me as I was on the way home from the gym. So I just showered, threw some more workout clothes on, obviously. I did not do my hair, get ready for this video at all. So apologize for looking a little bit rough, but I really wanted to talk about this topic because, as you guys know, it is the first week in January, and a lot of the new trends these days are fad diets. And I kind of wanted to touch briefly on them because I feel like a lot of people are using diets that were once intended to be a really good model or way of eating, now kind of as a post-holiday guilt diet, which obviously, if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that that is not my cup of tea and that's not something that I support or promote. So I kind of wanted to give like my thoughts on it and maybe hopefully change your mind on doing one of these super popular fad diets in 2019. So the first thing that I want to talk about is Whole30. And I think that after the holidays, I see more people doing Whole30 than I ever do throughout the entire year. So this is off the Whole30 website, and it's basically, if you don't know what Whole30 is, it's 30 days of eliminating sugar, alcohol, grains, legumes, soy, dairy. It's very similar to Paleo, just a 30-day only thing that you do, which that right there is automatically a red flag for me, because I feel like when you're talking about your nutrition and your health and everything like that, it should be something that you want to be able to maintain long term. It shouldn't be something that you only are going to do for a short period of time, because when you go back to doing your regular life routine, you're going to go back to the same things that got you to why you wanted to do the 30-day reset, if that makes sense. They consider it a short-term nutrition reset, which I also don't like the phrasing of, because a lot of people tend to use this diet as like a detox, but your liver detoxes for you. There is a huge difference between your liver detoxing your body, which it does automatically, and then you eating more like sugary Christmas type things over the holidays and feeling kind of like sluggish because you're not used to it, and then eating whole nutrient dense foods. That's not necessarily detoxing. It's just you changing the way that you're eating, you know? What I dislike the most about the Whole30 is that they say it puts an end to unhealthy cravings, restores a healthy metabolism, which that's a whole nother topic in its own, heals your digestive tract, and boosts your immune system. Those are huge statements that this diet is claiming to guarantee you. I'm sure in the fine print it says it can't guarantee anything, but you know what I mean. For the average consumer looking to start off the new year right, this seems super appealing, right? They're gonna fix their digestion, they're gonna fix their metabolism, they're gonna have no more cravings and all this stuff. And I think honestly, the issue with this, or one of the issues, is that it treats these cravings, which are 100% normal, completely normal to have cravings, especially around the holidays when there's cake and cookies everywhere, for desserts or treats or things like, we are human beings and these foods are designed to taste good. So therefore, yes, we will crave them, and that's normal. I think the biggest thing is that you have to realize this Paleo, this Whole30, this whatever for a specific amount of time is not going to change the fact that there is real life things going on for the rest of the year. So what happens when you do this Whole30 and then you go to a wedding or a birthday party and there's pizza or cake? You're going to automatically revert back to that Whole30 mindset of this is bad food. And then that's what perpetuates the guilt and causes you to want to do these Whole30s or these, you know, short-term diets. And I think ironically, that's like where a lot of this guilt with the food comes from, because these diets, and I'm just using Whole30 as an example just because it's really common, especially starting out the new year after the holidays. But a lot of these diets, they have a list of approved foods, bad foods, no, like just demonizing these foods. And RP is another one that's notorious for this. If you look at their templates, you know, they say like, this is the approved only foods. And I just feel like personally that creates this poor relationship between food, because it's telling you, like, for example, the Whole30 is saying grains are bad, but then RP is saying you can have whole wheat. I mean, shit, RP is saying that you can drink Gatorade mixed with whatever, pure sucralose in their workouts. I don't know. So if we're looking at one of these diets where they're saying no legumes or no grains, whatever, because it's bad, or these are the not allowed foods, I like to refer to what Lane Norton always says when people are challenging him with certain, diet things and myths and whatnot. He always says 3 things: at what cost, what's the evidence, and compared to what. So if you're cutting out carbs completely, we'll go to the keto example. If you're cutting out carbs completely, is it bad? That's a really loaded question. It could be bad for somebody, could be great for somebody with health issues. And compared to what? Cutting out carbs versus cutting out fats? I mean, there's just so many different things that I feel like referring to a diet, Whole30, Paleo, RP, whatever, for a specific amount of time and demonizing foods or demonizing whatever it is can just create more of that negativity towards food. And then throughout the year, you just continuously go through this cycle of thinking that this food is bad, this is not good, having meltdowns when you're going to people's birthdays or weddings because you don't know what to eat. And then the holidays come. And for a lot of people, unfortunately, it turns into, and I don't want to say binge in the sense of like binge eating, but it turns into absolutely eating more than you're used to and eating different foods than you're used to, which then starts to cycle back over again because you're thinking that Christmas food is bad or Christmas cookies are bad. And where I come from in the standpoint of nutrition is everything in balance and everything in moderation. Am I going to, like when I went to Punta Cana, I didn't track my macros the entire time. I didn't track my macros in Minneapolis and Iowa. I was sick. I mean, it's probably been a solid month of me actually like tracking macros. And I feel like there's a time and place for that. Do I hate myself for it? Do I think that the foods I've eaten are bad or, whatever the case may be? No, but that's also why I don't have a poor relationship with food, because once the new year starts, I don't feel the need to go on such a strict elimination diet or do something that's only sustainable for a short period of time. So that's kind of why I just don't like this mentality of, starting the new year out, going from one extreme to the other, because what happens after those 30 days? That's my biggest question. When you're done, cutting out dairy and grains and legumes and alcohol and all this stuff, that's great for 30 days. But then what happens after that? What happens to your relationship with food? Now, do you think that because you cut this stuff out and you lost weight, which, as a side note, a lot of people lose weight off of Whole30 because they're just cutting their caloric intake down. It's not necessarily because they cut out alcohol or because they cut out grains. All of that contributes to your total calorie intake. So if you're cutting that out, you're just decreasing that, which is creating more of a caloric deficit and having you lose weight, right? But then I think that creates people, or causes people rather, to think that these foods that they're not eating during this diet is what's causing that. And then the guilt starts during the holidays when those foods come back up, and the cycle repeats. So that's just why I want to share with you guys to really, really think about long-term sustainability for your life, not for a diet, not for an 8-week nutrition challenge, which is also super popular this time of the year, especially in gyms. And I just kind of challenge you guys to think about where you see yourself long-term and for the remainder of the year. Is it more important for you to weigh a specific number on the scale in 8 weeks? Or is it more important to have a healthy relationship with food? And in my opinion, obviously, I think it's way more important to have a healthy relationship with food because you'll be able to enjoy your life so much more. You don't want to be one of those people, or at least I don't want to be one of those people who's attached to their scale and bringing their scale on vacation, or thinking that you can't eat this cookie because it's going to make you fat. And just diet culture has ruined that for so many people, unfortunately. But it's why diet industry and diets and all that shit is so successful, because it creates fear. And then you, by default, want to follow along with their diet plan that's going to promise you X, Y, and Z. So I hope that makes sense. I know it's kind of like a Manders rant and a ramble, but this is just my feelings on it. I just want anybody who is following me or maybe using me as motivation or inspiration, what have you, I just want it to be a balance. Like, you will see me eat cookies or not track my macros or not weigh myself and be okay with that. And that's kind of what I just want to put out there in the world, especially in the new year when people are already hard on themselves as it is. They have these hard goals, they feel like crap after the holidays, and I don't want that to be a thing anymore. Like, you can enjoy your holidays and eat cookies and eat whatever, and it's not going to ruin your life. It's not going to ruin your progress. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing, and it doesn't have to be a one extreme to the other. So, interested to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Has anybody done Whole30 or Paleo or RP, keto? That's a touchy subject. I've made a video on that before. I'll link it here if you haven't seen it. But overall, I'd like to hear what you guys think. Do you think that these diets scare you into wanting to do them because they demonize foods? Really interested, because I think that's what's happening a lot after the holidays. So let me know your thoughts. Give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for joining me on this 3 Minute Thursday, which is definitely not 3 minutes as always. And I will see you guys in my next video.